Hey besties, welcome to my channel. And today we are going to be going over 10 micro habits that you absolutely need to literally change your life. And if that sounds like you, aka why you even clicked on this video, go ahead and hit the subscribe button for more videos like this, and let's get into the juicy topics. So, in case you're not familiar with what exactly a micro habit is, it's the little things that you actually do to lead you to the big things that you want to accomplish. You would not believe how much something so small can actually make such a big result in what you do in the future. Literally, and I really like talking about this topic because you wouldn't believe that literally sometimes all it takes is a little things to actually make the big things come to fruition. And a lot of people think the concept of micro habits, or even being able to understand what a micro habit is to have like these big fancy cars, this luxurious life, and then you've made it. No, literally, it takes the little things, the dedication that's behind the big scene to literally make these big things happen for you. So, for example, I have micro habits that I do basically every day to get to my goal, which my goal literally is to become an extremely big YouTuber on the YouTube platform. Even though I am small right now, my goal is to become big and be really well known. So, what took for me to become that was the little things that a lot of people probably don't tell you, or a lot of things that you really had to pay attention to even become that big. It's not going to be overnight. Literally, it takes these small things, which would be, for me, was doing the research. And within the research, breaking down each thing to figure out my niche, to figure out the details within descriptions, the captions, even down to the editing. It took a lot of detail oriented thinking, and those little things actually matter because it keeps your audience engaged. But that's just an example of how. But anyway, that's just like an example of the micro habits that I took just for one thing, which would be to become this big YouTuber. A lot of people probably don't talk about how it takes a lot of dedication. And on top of it, if you don't like think about all the details that get you where you want to be, you won't exactly succeed in that. A lot of people pay attention to the bigger picture of things and not actually the work that it took to even get to that level. And a lot of people think that it's just, oh, this happened overnight, or it's just this big, beautiful picture, and they have this successful life, and they have a luxurious life, and all of that, and they just got a snap of a finger. It really took little micro habits to actually get where they are now. And it wasn't overnight, or maybe for some people it was, but best to believe it definitely took some dedication for years before they even got to where they are. Also, another thing is, it honestly doesn't take a lot of energy to get to these big goals. You just have to actually sit down and start somewhere. And you would not believe those little micro habits that you do to change little things that you do in your everyday life will actually get you closer to your goal than you just thinking it's going to happen overnight. So, for an example, even like this is before I even started posting content or even taking content seriously, I was not exactly posting content like at all. I was slacking on that. I wasn't paying attention to it. I was more so just sitting and watching other people progress in the social media realm, and I was just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. Like I did, my last video was doom scrolling. I literally was doom scrolling. I was just sitting there scrolling, watching other people succeed, and that was for a long period of time before I even started taking YouTube seriously and even started like posting my actual content and really discovering my niche and moving forward with that. I actually was just not doing anything and not having any motion, but when I actually started to make those changes and started to change those habits, that were happening all the time, almost every single day, I actually saw a difference. People were watching my stuff. I was getting an audience. I was getting tons of engagement. And most of all, I was really motivated. The reason why I wasn't even posting content or I wasn't taking as serious as I could have been was because I wasn't motivated. And honestly, I thought I wasn't going to be able to succeed and even get to close to where I'm at right now. So even changing those little micro habits of getting motivated and actually starting, it has changed in so many ways. And I'm so thankful that I actually took the initiative to start and not waste any more. So I'm going to start you guys off with one of my absolute favorite micro habits that I literally had to do because I wasn't on it and I was not succeeding the way I was because I was not doing this one thing. One thing I wanted to get into was organizing. Actually putting your clothes away and not letting them just stack up and turn into this castle in your room. I used to not exactly be the most organized, and it really took a lot for me to crack down and really say, okay, I'm gonna actually become organized. I was not as organized as I am now, so don't let that trick you. No, honestly, I have changed from the micro habits that I've used for myself. But taking the initiative to having an organized room, which ultimately is your organized environment, is so important, you guys. I can't stress that enough. Literally, the way you go about simple things around your house will literally change what you attract outside of your house. So making sure that you take the time, take it from me, making sure you take the time to actually fold your clothes and actually put them away. And if you have school the next day, or if you have an event, or even just in general, please make sure you iron your clothes and fold them and put them away, because having wrinkled clothes, it's not going to look good and you're not going to attract good energy with that either. So making sure that you actually crack down on that and being organized with just your simple clothes is so important, because think about it. If you have tons of clothes or a mass of clothes just laying around your room, you're honestly going to have stagnant energy and you're going to ultimately attract sloppy energy and just lazy energy, and you don't want that. You want to actually start with the micro habits and actually get somewhere. So making sure you start with folding your clothes or organizing little things in your room actually makes such a difference, because you're going to have a flow of energy and it's not going to be stagnant, like I said. And also you're going to attract success and you're going to attract tons of opportunities. The second micro habit that I definitely want to get into that has changed my life as well, or that I have used personally, is I wanted to get into eating. So how you eat, your diet is so important, because like I said, you guys always compliment me on my skin and how glow it is and how I'm just really having the glass skin effect. Thank you so much. But you have to actually sit down and plan out your meal prep. You have to really focus on what foods you're eating, because if you want to have good vibrations and if you want to attract good vibrations and go to different events or these different opportunities to come to you, then you have to actually start taking care of your body and taking care of your diet. And that's just one part. Making sure you exercise is so important. But I'm going to get back to how you eat, because here's some of the foods that are really going to help you and going to change the little micro habits of eating junk. These things are going to help you, or these foods are actually going to help you a lot. Making sure you're really focusing on your diet and not just eating anything is extremely important. So even let's say you eat a bag of chips and you just keep eating junk and junk and junk and more junk, you can't expect to have the body that you want by the set period of time that you make for yourself. So you most likely will want to try to get in a couple of salads, because that's going to really help your body and get you where you want to get. It's the little micro habits, you guys. I'm telling you, these people have amazing bodies and they have the dream body that you want. You're not going to get it by drinking juices and chips and all these types of things and wanting really clear, beautiful glass skin. You're not going to get that by just eating a lot of junk and a lot of that bad stuff. You're going to get it by eating salads, getting your smoothies, maybe making some type of meal prep plan so your body gets used to you eating good and actually shows results. And also maybe trying different types of juices and acai bowls. Those are things that I've actually used that give me the glass skin that you guys compliment me about. And it actually changes even down to my energy. I'm not feeling lazy, I'm feeling really motivated, and I'm actually excited to start my day. And just doing those simple things really do change your outcome of how anything you want to happen, how any opportunities happen, how you get the body that you want, you get the skin that you want, you get the hair that you want. It's about actually cracking down on those things and starting with that and not waste time. So another micro habit that I wanted to discuss is becoming the early girl, which means someone who actually gets up early and sets their day off early so then they can get stuff done early. That is the entire point. You're not cramming everything together. You're actually giving yourself enough time in the day to, I'm sorry, my cat's in the back. It's just so funny. Is actually giving you enough time to get stuff done in your day and be very successful in how your outcome comes for the rest of your day. You're not giving yourself stress, you're not overwhelming yourself, and you're also being very organized and you're being efficient as well with how your day goes. And you're also being productive. So making sure you set your timer to get up early, or basically set your clock to get up early, is so important. And takes from a person who used to sleep in. I used to sleep in like a lot. And this is when I told you, this is when I wasn't being productive. I was just being a social media junkie. I was drinking so much coffee. Not that I don't now, but I was drinking so much coffee. I was cramming stuff in. I wasn't actually having a calendar and scheduling things out. I was just being haphazard and I wasn't doing anything to my best potential. So, like I said, making sure you actually are putting real and true intent to stuff that you do is actually going to change everything that you do and how your day to day goes. Honestly, I used to think that people were crazy for getting up early because I'm like, why do you get up so early? Like 6:30 in the morning. You should be sleeping. But I actually realized when I started doing that they weren't as crazy as I thought. It was just me realizing that they're getting all their stuff done and they're not stressed out and their life is really easy because they're starting their goals early in the morning. They're meditating, they're looking at affirmations, they're actually planning out their day the way that I wanted to plan out my day, and they're scheduling things in and they're making stuff happen and this and this and this and that and that and that and this, and they're actually like at this store like early, and they're getting these discounts and all these fun things. And I actually had to like say, okay, I want to be the first one at that grand opening at Sephora, and I want to get those 75 free goodies. And I said, okay, well, I know they open up at this time and I need to be there at this time because my goal is to get this. Well, did I do it? I did it and I was motivated and I went through with it. And thank you, Sephora, so much. You guys are amazing, honestly. And ever since then, hey, I literally could have nothing to do the next day. And I will set my clock for 6:30. And I even ask myself, like, is this becoming a habit? And it is. I'm actually getting up at 6:30 because I'm finding that I'm getting stuff done. And I'm actually starting to love getting up early. I thought I would never love that. I thought I was going to be like, oh, why are people up so early? I can't do it. I can't do it. It's just, please, I need 5 more minutes at least. I started to love it. And when I tried to sleep in, like the other day, I tried to sleep in a little more. When I tell you I couldn't even sleep, I couldn't even sleep that long. I said, well, I'm going to get up at 7:30. No, I was awake the entire time. I woke up at 6:30 and I was awake. And I'm like, yeah, I'm ready for the day. I'm motivated and this and that. And yeah, I was getting stuff done. I went to a yoga class. I actually went to walk around town a little bit and just see some, sightseeing and all that fun stuff. And I felt so good. I really, really did. So I even like realized that I didn't even know yoga classes even start that early. So those little things actually change the outcome of how my everyday today goes, because I'm actually taking the initiative to get up early and actually truly start my day on a successful note. So the next thing that I want to get into is cleaning your environment. So if your environment is really junky and it's not the cleanest and you have a lot of dust or a lot of dirt around your environment, you just need to really get Clorox bleach wipes, and you need to get a vacuum and a Swifter and start scrubbing. Whether it's scrubbing your walls, you probably want to do that too, because you want everything around you, your entire environment, to be extremely clean and to attract clean and wholesome energy as well. Literally, guys, changing those little things have been unbelievable to me. The amount of success, the amount of, like, you guys are watching right now, that's an audience. I would have never thought that I would get as far as I am. Almost 5,000 subscribers on YouTube. I am so motivated and I'm so blessed and I'm so happy. So, literally, you guys, you can do this too. Just taking those little steps literally get you so far in your future. If there's a job that you want, research up on it, you guys. That's another thing I want to talk about. But those little things that make such a big difference. So now we're going to get into another micro habit, which would be, besides the environment, besides being organized, and besides scheduling things properly and actually getting up early, I want to get into jobs. Wanting the job is one thing. Researching and actually doing the things that qualify you for the job is so important. And that's with anything in life. A job can be not a literal job, it can be the job to get this done, the job to get to this goal, the job to mark this off, the job to stop doing this. If it's a habit that you don't do that's negative, the job is to start stopping doing that one thing that's an actual really bad influence and a really bad habit on your life. Filling up on those little things will literally change your life, and you'll feel so good. Making sure that you, let's say something that you aren't so sure about, right? Actually making sure that you research and putting in the time to be efficient, it just makes you look better on the job. And also, when whatever you do, you actually feel good about what you're doing. You feel like you're successful and you feel like you've achieved whatever the goal is, quote unquote, job. And you'll feel so, so, so good. And you will be actually dedicated to change and dedicated to actually getting to where you want to get. And then you'll soon realize all those people who have those big, beautiful lives and big, beautiful houses, or luxurious this and luxurious that, all those bags and this and that, it's because it's the little things they did that actually changed the horizon or changed the way their outcome is. They took control of it and they didn't let things just flow and go whatever way. They actually put the dedication in, the time and the positive energy into what they expect to happen, and they manifested it. It actually happens. And it's not just for anyone, or that you feel like you can't exactly be to that level. You can. You just have to start somewhere and you will succeed and you will go to the highest level you can go. You will do that. And don't take the small things for granted either. So actually really patting yourself on the back for the little things you do is actually going to make you feel better about succeeding to the bigger things. Because if you just override all the small things that you do, you're going to actually wind up pulling yourself down for when you accomplish the big things that you once thought were small. And you're going to basically make this cycle of just pulling yourself down and being negative and not actually growing and going to the level that you need to be. Remember, everything you do is for you. Don't do it if it feels forced. Just let it flow and it will happen. I'm telling you guys, these are life-changing tips that I've personally used for myself, And some of the things I take away from this video that I really want to focus on are one of the things is actually making self-discipline and aligning with that is so important, and I cannot stress it enough. You will get where you want to get if you actually start disciplining yourself and moving forward with that discipline. Another thing is making sure that you're motivated. Please, please, please make sure you're motivated with everything you do. And even if you're not beginning, it's okay. It's gonna feel like you can't do it. You're not gonna be used to it, but you will start becoming used to it because you will become motivated and it'll become second nature. Just like how you might be new to driving. Okay, you're nervous at first and you feel like you're unsure, you don't know what to expect. But the more you do it, the more experience you get, the better the outcome. And you will see that driving is just another thing, and you'll be so happy and you'll be so dedicated to that as well. Another thing I wanted to go over, Gene, and how important it is. And that's the other thing that I'm going to save for the next video. If you want to hear stuff about that, let me know, because I will happily do some content on that as well. But making sure that you incorporate those micro habits into your life are literally going to change it, and you will achieve and you will get to where you need to be, and you will feel so happy and successful, and you will succeed if you actually have self-discipline and actually start somewhere and don't allow the negative to get in your way, and you will actually get there. Don't feel overwhelmed, trust yourself, and you will succeed. The power of change is so real, and it actually works. You're exchanging your old negative lazy energy for new, renewed, great, wholesome energy that will actually get you where you want to get. And don't forget those goals that you want to do, you're going to get there, but just start with actually trying. And I'm telling you, for someone who, I told you guys, I was a social media junkie, okay? I was addicted to just scrolling, scrolling. And I was holding myself down, okay? You don't have to do that. Just actually start these things and you can do it. Trust me. I absolutely hope you guys, and I wish you guys the best. And yeah, if you guys want to talk about anything, let me know in the comments, and some takeaways that you take away from this video. Please share in the comment section below. And I absolutely love you, besties. And I will see you in my next video. All right. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video so much.